Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm filming the second episode of my natural hair series. Today I'm here with Caitlin, so she is going to be who I'm interviewing today. So Caitlin, where are you from?
I am from Lexington, North Carolina.
So you have pretty much North Carolina roots. Your parents are from here. How did you grow up doing your hair, or who did your hair?
Right. So my mom is of European descent. My father is of African descent. And I have two younger brothers as well. We all have the same type of hair type and same skin tone. My mom did my hair growing up, and she would do a lot of twist out styles. That was for special occasions. And then on a regular day, I would just have my hair out, natural, frizzy, happy, wild child.
So just out? Pretty much? Wow.
Out most of the time. Sometimes I'd have ponytails or braids, but for the most part, it was just out. I know Mom did twist outs because the family portraits that we have, I can tell the curl pattern isn't the natural curl pattern. She had my hair braided probably the night before and took it out just before we did family photos.
That's so interesting because I feel like twist outs are like a new age thing. Like I've only known girls from me growing up to just have braids in their hair that have textured hair like you.
Right. I'm not sure if that's something that someone taught Mom or if she just kind of figured it out on her own, that if she braided my hair up one day and then let it stay that way overnight and took it down the next day, that my hair was still looking good the next day.
Being that your mom was of European descent, do you ever felt like she struggled doing your hair?
I don't think her struggled. If she did, I never noticed that. I'm not even sure who taught her how to do my hair. I'm sure someone on my father's side helped her out with that. But there was never any frustration that I picked up on. So she did my hair in twist out styles. She would do some simple braiding sometimes, or on a regular day it would just be out and just wild and frizzy, and I'm a happy kid. And
that was normal for you, wearing your hair just out, right?
Yeah, on a regular weekend when we're just hanging out at the house, there was no point in her, spending time and effort in fixing my hair if we were just gonna play around the house for the day. So there were times where I would just go natural and could just play and not have to sit still so she could do my hair. She did that for quite some time, and then around 4th grade, maybe when I was a bit more aware of my appearance, is when she started having a family member who had experience with natural hair braid my hair up intricately with like the beads and everything. But Mom would have my cousin do my hair. She would braid it up very tight, nice looking braids, and I would wear it like that for weeks until I needed to wash my hair, or they were too frizzy, and then we'd do it again. And so we did that for quite some time. So I think it just worked out with Mom's schedule at that point in our lives for her to just have me have it braided up so she wouldn't have to do it daily.
Did you grow up going to like the beauty salon?
I did not go to the beauty salon on a regular basis. When I was 5, I was in a beauty pageant, and I went to a beauty salon then with a family friend on my dad's side. And she did my hair. She straightened it and curled it with a curling iron. But that was the only one time I remember growing up going to a beauty salon.
So how was that experience, being that you've only been to the beauty salon like one time, in your adolescence?
In my childhood, that one instance of going to the beauty salon stands out because it was the first time that I had my hair straightened. It wasn't a bad experience. It wasn't a good experience. It was just one of those things when you look back on your childhood, you can like picture it, you can see yourself there. So it was definitely something different, and that I think that's why it stands out in my mind now.
Your mom never relaxed your hair?
No, my mom never relaxed my hair. Sometime in middle school, I begged her to let me get my hair relaxed, and so she took me to a salon and we had that done, but that wasn't a regular thing.
Being that you're from the South, you're from North Carolina, Lexington, did you ever feel any discrimination from your hair or your appearance in any social setting?
Because I look the way that I look, in terms of my skin tone, I'm racially ambiguous, so people couldn't figure me out. So if anything, most of the questions were just, what are you, what is your ethnicity, sort of thing. So I know the way that I looked stood out enough for people to be curious and ask me, but as a child, I didn't put two and two together about why they might be wanting to ask me that question. So when I became more self-aware, I feel like a lot of people become self-aware starting in middle school, so I'd say about 6th grade. At that time, I was still having my hair braided. At that time, I was a tomboy. I was very active in sports, but I also did dance. And at that time, I started feeling like I looked different than people, or picking up on that. And a big place that reinforced that otherness was through dance, because the dance company was primarily white. And
what type of dance did you do?
Ballet, tap, jazz, hip hop later on, but it was primarily a white space, we'll just call it that, a white space. And so when they would ask us to wear our hair a certain way, like a ballet bun, for instance, is supposed to be like real slick back, no frizzies or anything like that. And so it was very difficult for me to feel like I was performing at the standard, because those hairstyles were not made with my type of hair in mind. But back then I didn't think that. I just thought, I can never get my hair to look like everyone else's hair. There's something different about me, and I don't want to stand out. Because in dance, you're performing, people look at you. So any feelings that I had about my otherness in life in general, those feelings were amplified when I was in the dance environment.
Being that you didn't really want to stand out, how did you wear your hair?
In dance, so about 7th grade, I started flat ironing my hair because everyone else's hair was straight, and that would help me achieve the looks that the dance instructors would be asking for when we had performances. So I started straightening my hair about 7th grade and incessantly straightened my hair through the rest of adolescence into early adulthood, all the way through early college. I just straightened my hair. Now, throughout all of that, I had maybe 5 or less relaxers.
So you've done dance since you were 6 years old, and so you felt as though in dancing your hair was a big topic for you. So what about in school?
I was still trying to not so much fit in, but just not stick out. And I felt like when I wore my hair, if I were to have worn my hair natural, I would definitely stick out in a crowd. So really what reinforced flat ironing all the time was that wanting to just kind of blend in.
So in high school you straightened your hair. Did you ever relax your hair in high school?
Maybe once or twice I relaxed my hair in high school, and that was because I still wasn't achieving the look that I wanted with just flat ironing. Because my hair is so thick, it was straight but still on the big side. And so a few times maybe I had my hair relaxed to try and get an even flatter look with my hair. So most of the damage that my hair sustained was just heat damage rather than chemical damage.
Okay, so what college did you go to?
I went to Wake Forest University.
How did you dance through college as well?
I did. I danced with the same company from childhood through college. I also joined the marching band in college and did color guard. And so that was another performing space.
So how did you wear your hair in college?
I did continue to straighten my hair, especially with the color guard. There was a certain look that they'd want us to have on game days, and some of these hairstyles they were asking for were very intricate but meant for straight hair. And so I would have to get up like an hour earlier than everyone else so that I could achieve that look.
Did you ever relax your hair through college?
I relaxed my hair once in college, and that was the last time that I ever did that.
What happened?
It was a disaster. So it was a store-bought relaxer, and you have to understand that I had been flat ironing my hair for years at this point, so my hair was not in a condition that could have taken a store-bought or just in general a relaxer. So I did the relaxer in my dorm and left it on too long, and so I had some damage, some chemical damage from that, and my hair was very, very short, awkwardly short to where I couldn't even like pull it back into a ponytail. I was just completely devastated and realized that I had to do something different. So I decided to go natural. But it wasn't just the relaxer experience. There was also something else that happened a little bit after that that was just the icing on the cake. So Thanksgiving Day, I was at home on break and we were getting ready to visit family. And I was just gonna put my hair in a ponytail for the day. And so I went into the bathroom and just saw a comb lying on the sink. And so I picked it up to use it to pull my hair back into a ponytail. And then when I went to smooth it out, my hair just like kept coming all the way out. And I had used a razor comb to put my hair in a ponytail. God. And I didn't even know what a razor comb was until I used one on myself. And so I had a little bald patch closer to the hairline, and so I was completely devastated. My hair was already in a way that I didn't like, so with that added incident, that really pushed me to just do things completely different.
That's awful. I can't imagine razor cutting my hair. Like, I would feel so off. I would felt so bad.
Yeah,
I can't imagine.
It was bad. I cried and skipped Thanksgiving that year.
So what did you decide to do differently afterwards?
Right, so first of all, I decided no more chemicals and less heat. However, I continued to use the flat iron, not as much, so it was a little bit of progress there. So at that time, when my hair was really short and I had the bald spot, the only thing that I could do was updos to conceal that spot, and it was the only thing I knew to do with my hair to manage it, to do anything with it. There was no other option, because of the length and the texture of it, and it was just not gonna work anyway except for an updo. And so I did that out of necessity for, I don't know, a couple of years, maybe 2 years or so, was just the updos. And like I said, I was still flat ironing, but less. And when my hair grew out to a certain point, to a certain length that I was comfortable with wearing it just out and down natural, I started doing wash and goes. And the reason I decided to do that was just a personal reason. It wasn't like I saw somebody else doing it or, was aware of the trend of going natural.
So you didn't necessarily see anybody externally.
No.
You went natural just based off of the bad experiences that you had with your own hair.
Right, and I just wanted my hair to be healthy, and I wanted that curl to reestablish itself, I guess. And so I transitioned from the updos. Also, I was just tired of the updos, to be honest. So I just started doing wash and goes because it was easy. It fit with my lifestyle to just get up and condition my hair, maybe put a little bit of product in it, and then just go for the day. And I started getting a lot of compliments on wearing my hair natural. But the thing that
in college,
in college, when I changed, there were a lot of people who were happy to see that change. Mostly people that knew me my whole life. They were excited to see me going back to that, to the way things were before, and just that my hair was healthier. And so I really just stuck with it for that reason, because my hair was healthier.
So we're pretty much done with her hair story, so now we're just gonna move on to questions. What makes you continue to be natural? On social media, I feel like there's so many women with wigs and weaves, and even with, I feel, women that have a full head of hair like you, they still fall under the influence of not wearing their hair out. So what makes you continue to want to
do it like this,
to be natural?
Again, it's just the health of my hair. I know what I'm doing is probably best for my hair. The less intervention, I feel like, the better in my case. And that's really what keeps me going with the natural, is just the health of my hair. And the longer I wear it like this, the more comfortable I am. I mean, at this point, I'm 100% comfortable with my hair being natural. And I think I've kind of just established within the community that this is me. This is, a part of me, and, accept me the way that I am, because I accept myself the way that I am. So really, it's just for the health of my hair.
Because you're not experiencing any damage, any breakage, like excessively, as you would, using other methods like a relaxer or...
Right, yeah, I've completely sworn off the chemicals since the bad experience. And then with the flat ironing, I hardly do that now at all. Maybe a few times a year, like maybe 4 times a year I'll flat iron my hair. But again, I mean, I just prefer to wear it natural.
So you did in Big Chop, did you transition pretty much?
I did. I transitioned. I was not brave enough to do a big chop because with the way my hair was set up, like I would have had to just completely cut everything off, and I didn't want to do that. So it was more just like grow a little bit out, cut off the dead ends, grow a little bit out, and that's still what I'm doing at this point.
Do you know your hair porosity or curl type, and do you believe in those classifications?
Right. I believe in those types of classifications. I think it's nice to have a standardized means of communicating our hair needs with each other if we have a common language, a common understanding about it. However, it just doesn't fit in with my lifestyle to delve that far into it because I know what my hair needs and what my hair does not need, whether I can define the curl pattern or not. But like I said, I mean, I think that system is great in terms of me communicating to other people what I need for my hair.
So do you know what your hair porosity is?
No, I do not.
Have you ever done the test?
I have not done the test.
Okay.
All I know is that when I wash my hair, it will hold that water until the next day and maybe even the next day.
So your hair retains moisture very well?
Yeah.
Okay, you probably have maybe like medium porosity, the hair then. And then I would say your curl type is, I would put it in the 4 range. Mm-hmm. So that's just by looking at your hair texture.
Right.
Did you face any challenges going natural?
It was more an internal challenge of just accepting my hair the way that it is.
Right, because you straightened for so long, I'm
Right.
sure it's probably had to be maybe a little bit difficult to go from that extreme to the next.
Yeah, and those were definite extremes because of my hair type. It's very thick and curly and awesome, but it was a big change, and I just had to change the way I thought about myself more than anything else.
Do you face any challenges currently with your hair?
Still the same thing, is just an internal battle with myself, and that's just not with my hair, that's just body image and self-acceptance overall. And I feel like that's a challenge for you even in adulthood. That's not something that you just deal with in middle school. I mean, that stays with you, and so that is definitely a part of the hair journey, is to just be happy with where I'm at rather than think this is point A and this is point B where I want to be. I'm not going to be happy until I get to this point. I have to change the way I think to where I'm happy here and here and here all the way, and just appreciate what I've got.
Do you have any moments when your hair wasn't received well?
Yes. I experienced more commentary about my hair in adulthood in the professional setting. So I'm a museum curator, so I work in a museum, and lots of visitors come in every day to look at the exhibits, and I will go out and talk to them. And it's usually those interactions where someone will either explicitly ask me a question or make a comment about my hair, or implicitly do the same thing. I mean, I've had instances where someone has made a comment about, oh, well, Caitlin combed her hair today, and that's just an explicitly rude example.
Wow,
but that's a special case. But there are special people out there that will say things like that. But other times it's more implicit. And it's just, I can tell people feel they have the idea that I'm not as professional as somebody else because I'm not containing my hair.
That's just so baffling to me that somebody would say something like that, because I guess not everybody's aware of the natural movement, and maybe people in this area in particular where we live, maybe there just aren't many naturals.
Yeah,
but, I mean, that's still offensive.
Oh yeah, it's offensive, no matter what your hair type is. But this was an older white gentleman. I'm sure he hadn't seen very many naturals, and maybe he wasn't saying it to be offensive, but it was certainly offensive and ignorant. I feel a lot of people think that if you are going natural, especially if you're wearing it out in the professional setting, that that's unprofessional. And I strongly wish that society would rethink that.
I do too. So at work in professional settings, but ever out like going to the grocery store or to festivals?
Right. It's my hair is obviously big, and it pulls in people's attention, and people that aren't used to seeing this hair type, it throws them off, I suppose, and some of them are bold enough to approach me and ask me about it. Sometimes the comments are nice, like, you know, wow, your hair is big and it's amazing, and then they proceed to touch it, which they shouldn't do. But sometimes the comments are more negative, and sometimes it's just what they say shows how uncultured they are in a way, how they haven't been exposed to this sort of hair type. So for example, it was around Halloween. I was out at a bar, where I was crossing the street to go to a bar, and a man came out of a truck and he said, "Oh man, I love your wig. Your wig is awesome." And I was like,
wig?
yeah, my wig.
Wow.
And I was like, this is not a wig, this is my real hair, but thank you. And he refused to accept that as the truth. He was like, no way, that is definitely a wig. And so at that point, it's just awkward. Like, what else can I say besides, no, this is actually my hair.
Like, your hair couldn't be that beautiful and couldn't grow out that nice looking. It has to be a wig.
I didn't even think of it that way. I thought of it as, we're around Halloween time and he thinks that I just have some like funny costume on. So I took it even more negative than that. And I mean, who knows what
true, because it was around Halloween.
Yeah. And then for me to say that, no, this is my real hair, and for him to continue to argue that it wasn't, you know,
yeah,
as a backhanded compliment at that point.
Right, definitely. So what is your go-to style?
Now my go-to style are twist outs, or to just braid my hair up and then take it down the next day. I stopped doing the wash and go so much because I think that over time all of that moisture in my hair weighed it down, and it could have also been at that point through life, hormones changed and the texture of my hair changed, and it was just like the wash and go wasn't working anymore. And so now I'm doing more of the twist outs.
You feel like your texture has changed?
I do feel like my texture has changed, and I'm blaming it on hormones, but I don't know for sure. But I just know that what I was doing before was not working anymore.
The wash and go. Do you use combs? Do you finger detangle? How do you style your hair?
I'll finger detangle when I need to, but for the twist outs, I'll usually just do 2 strand twists every night. And in terms of product, I don't really use any. What I use more than anything are natural oils, and so right now I'm using a lot of coconut oil and just started castor oil, which I really like the results of that.
And you use those 2 oils to style your hair?
Yeah, so I'll put that in before I twist it up, and that will kind of help hold the frizz down, at least for the next day.
What do you use to wash your hair? Condition?
To wash my hair, I only condition my hair, and I use natural product.
Do you visit a stylist ever?
I do not visit a stylist. Occasionally I will have someone else help me trim my hair, and by someone else I mean someone I trust, like my mom or a friend, to come over to the house and just help me get like the back parts that I can't see. There were a few times that I went to have my hair cut because I had never had my hair cut in a style. Since having it natural, when it grew to a certain point, I felt like it didn't have a good shape to it, and so I went somewhere to have it cut, and that wasn't the best haircut. And we did lose some of the split ends. She did cut some of that off, but in terms of how I perceived my hair, the haircut wasn't so good. And so now I'm recovering from that awkward haircut, and since then just kind of decided to maintain it myself, because I feel like I know my hair better than anyone else does, and I don't trust anyone with a pair of scissors around my head.
I feel like most naturals are that way. Most naturals do their hair at home, they cut their hair, but there are a lot more curly stylists now that are cutting hair, styling hair, but I still feel like there's huge connotation that naturals do their hair at home.
I feel like a stylist who, you know, is studied in this type of hair can definitely do wonders on my hair. However, where I live, that's not very accessible, and so it doesn't work with my lifestyle either to, you know, drive an hour or so for someone to do my hair.
So what are your favorite products? Do you have any holy grails that you like to use on your hair regularly?
My favorite products are essential oils, especially tea tree oil and peppermint oil. And I just started using castor oil, which my hair loves a lot.
Really?
Yes, and I've heard bad things if you use castor oil too much, but you hear bad things about almost every product. So you just have to use everything sparingly and do whatever is gonna work for you. But with the essential oil, with tea tree oil, I just treat my scalp with that maybe once a week. And for the peppermint, I use that if my scalp is ever getting itchy. I'll put some peppermint on and that takes the itchiness away. And it also stimulates circulation and hopefully some hair growth there. And so those two products make all the difference for me because it cuts back on the number of times I have to wash my hair, and the less I wash my hair, the better. For me anyway.
Mm-hmm. The better, like, it works with you, or you
right, because when I wash my hair, it's gonna soak in that moisture and shrink. And since I'm doing the twist out styles right now, I'm trying to achieve a little bit more length.
Stretch.
Yeah, so when I wash my hair for the next couple of days, I just don't know what my hair is gonna do. It's gonna just do its own thing. So with the tea tree oil, it cuts back on the amount of times I need to wash my hair. I don't really use products for styling so much. I still would lean on oils like coconut oil and now the castor oil.
For styling?
To just kind of reduce the frizz. I wouldn't say so much styling because it doesn't hold much. But I want to avoid styling products because then you have the buildup like you were talking about, and then you have to wash your hair.
Do you comb it through? Do you finger coil?
I will finger comb or coil when I am doing my twists at night. I will put the strand twist. I'll do that and put the oil on then, and then just take it out in the day. So, I mean, this right now, there's no product in it. This is just a twist out style. And for me, I'm fine with this style. Like, I want to just rock the natural, not so much product weighing it down. For me, what's most important is the health of my hair, like I said. So I'm just embracing the frizz.
So is there something that you'd like to see the natural hair community do, or is there something that you think the natural hair community needs?
I would just like to see it grow and us encouraging one another. Like I said, I don't have a specific natural that is my inspiration. It's everyone collectively because our hair is so different. Everyone's hair regimen is individualized. So we could have the same hair type, but the way you do your hair is completely different than the way that I would do mine. But the point is that there's a great diversity there, and I just want to see that grow. And the more of us that do it, the more that diversity is going to be apparent to us and to the rest of the world. And I think just more exposure in all sectors, so in the media, but also in the professional setting. I feel like if more naturals are wearing their hair out and natural in a professional setting, and letting people see that you can be completely professional and wear your hair like this. Yeah, it would be the new normal. So if anything, what I would like to see is more people in the business sector and in a professional setting wearing their hair natural.
So what is your relationship like with your hair now?
With my hair now, it's still, it's a journey. And for me, what I've had to change my mentality is not so much journey, this is point A and this is point B where I want to be, because when I'm in between, I'm just not happy. So at this point, my hair journey is a mental journey more so than a physical journey with my hair, and it's just about appreciating where you are in each moment of your journey and appreciating just the way that you look and your differentness and just loving yourself in general.
And do you think that the outlook that you have now is because of the past history that you have with your hair kind of brought you to this point?
I think that is definitely a part of it. I feel like when we get older, we become more self-aware. And at first, that self-awareness can make us feel bad about ourselves. But as we age, we just become more accepting. And I think the big difference between now and then is that I see how much healthier my hair is now than it was when I was straightening it all the time. And so it's more about health rather than appearance.
So yes, thank you, Caitlin, for being here. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thanks for having me.
This wraps up episode number 2. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see the 3rd episode. So far, that's going to be the last one for a bit here. But yes, thank you guys for watching. You guys stay tuned and subscribe to my channel for episode number 3.